these are to the glory days at the stick. From who's got it better than us to brick by brick. It's always the 49ers way, from off-season to game day. Yeah, we talk back. It's the 49ers Cutback.
It's 49ers Cutback Podcast time. Welcome to the show. Who is going to fill the key role? And the key role being the Arden Key role.
Thank goodness you clarified that. I was confused for a second.
Yeah, I didn't want everyone to not know what that meant. But we've actually seen it with Eric Armstead before, and then it became the Arden Key role. A guy that is an edge rusher that moves on the inside during obvious pass downs.
True.
We know this is something that's a trend for the 49ers. We've already heard Charles Omenihu was taking snaps during OTAs on the inside. DeMeco Ryans wasn't exactly happy that people were asking him about that. But Alex, who's going to fill this role?
All of them.
All of them.
I don't think there's going to be one guy this year.
Okay.
I truly don't believe there's going to be one guy. But look, before I get too far into my diatribe, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Notification bell. We're almost at 3K. Get us there today. And then after you've done all of that fun stuff, go to the comment section and tell us who on the D-line is going to be the Arden Key-esque player this year, filling that role that Arden Key took up last year and did phenomenal with. Now, back to my diatribe, what I was talking about. I think it's going to be a rotation of guys, a plethora. I think you could see times where it's Charles Omenihu. You're going to see times where maybe they throw in a Kerry Hyder because they believe on pass rushing downs he can do stuff on the interior that they really like. I think you could see a Jordan Willis sliding in on the interior as well, something we haven't really seen out of him so far. Now, he doesn't have necessarily the speed, but he does have the size. We saw him dominate on special teams last year, getting in on guys and getting through on punt block and doing different things. Maybe they feel he could transition, has developed enough of his moves and his skill set. I think the front runner right now for all of this, though, the front runner is probably actually Samson Ebukam. Like Samson Ebukam could be the guy that they're looking at going, hey, we've seen him, we've moved him around a bunch, we know what he can do, his move set is starting to set in, he's getting more comfortable. I think he would thrive on the interior on pass rushing downs and where he doesn't have that top end speed, but he does have the strength, the physicality, and the move set and the quickness and the first step to be able to cause and wreak havoc there on the interior, and you can throw a Charles Omenihu or Kemoko Turay outside of him and bring that speed off the edge there and pair those things together. I'm not 100% sure which way it's going to go. I think it could more likely be a plethora of guys than one specific guy. I'll give the edge right now to Samson Ebukam. Charles Omenihu is the most enticing of the names, though.
I like where you're going with this, kind of expanding this role. Expanding the Arden Key role to multiple players gives you more options, and that's what DeMeco Ryans' defenses look like. Now, Kris Kocurek also likes options. Adding good players that can play in a multitude of areas is smart for the 49ers. Now, I think you can look at some of the other moves that they've made, and they signal kind of a trend of this expansion happening. For instance, Javon Kinlaw moving to nose tackle. He hasn't proven to be a three-down player in this league. He hasn't been able to get after the quarterback yet. He could, of course, develop there. But then the signing of Hassan Ridgeway. Ridgeway is definitely a two-down guy. He's somebody you want to pull off the field. You can maybe have the same kind of conversation about Kevin Givens. So the fact that they have interior players that would be first and second down players, that means they need guys that can come in those situations. Now, you saw Samson Ebukam and Arden Key both rotating back and forth between playing outside and inside. So you're right. Samson Ebukam is going to be in that role at some manner. And then you throw in the fact that you got Charles Omenihu, a speed rush guy like Kemoko Turay that can play on the outside. The new addition, the second round pick, Drake Jackson, another guy to throw in that. And you brought up Jordan Willis already, who I like, and I think he could actually do very well lining up in the inside against guards. They've given themselves so much versatility and flexibility with this defensive line that we've actually been posing the question, how many edge rushers are they going to keep? Because they may keep a very minuscule amount of defensive interior players because the outside guys are so good. I went through that whole entire thing and didn't even mention that they brought Kerry Hyder back, and Kerry Hyder was meant for this role in 2020.
True.
So they have so many guys that can do it. They can really get after it. I'm very excited about this role because I think it gave the 49ers a lot of really good matchups and pass sets, and that is bad for everyone else.
It's horrible for everybody else. It really is. I mean, the Niners have essentially sort of made this the focal point. Teams covet this now. They're looking for this. I mean, look what Jacksonville paid for Arden Key. The teams want a guy who can move in on the interior and dominate. Maybe he was supposed to be an outside guy, but you know what? Maybe you have that guy on your roster who's stupid, ridiculously lightning fast. Anton has got a couple really good move sets and is wonderful on pass downs. But you put him in any of the situation, and it's like we can't utilize this guy. He can't set the edge. He's a liability versus the run. He gets moved off his spot if he has to try and anchor down and set the edge. Like, we just can't do it. Well, guess what? If you have a guy on the edge who you're comfortable with on rundowns, you love him on the outside setting the edge, but you think he can thrive on the interior and maybe destroy some guards with his quick first step and ability to get low, dip, split double teams, whatever it may be, or dominate one-on-one matchups. Well, now you have the best of both worlds because you have a guy who can start outside and then move inside and free up, so you have the best 4 pass rushers on the football field. The Niners, it feels like, have set them up. And look, I did my whole diatribe and didn't even mention Drake Jackson.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not a slight on Drake Jackson at all, because I think he is a situational pass rusher. I think that's what he's meant for right now.
Yeah.
And he has the ample opportunity to find what that role is going to be, but he has to find it. He truly does have to find it in the scheme, and it's not going to be easy because there are so many names, there are so many guys, and the Niners are keeping at least 11 defensive linemen, and 7 of those, and 7 could be defensive ends. That's crazy.
Yeah, you know what, and it probably should be 7 defensive ends. I mean, the way this team is built, it might be more important to keep those edge guys and then, allow, like Eric Armstead, Ridgeway and Javon Kinlaw to stop the run on the interior. That's what it could be. And you bringing up Drake Jackson, it made me think, because I think there's going to be a little bit of battle between Drake Jackson and Kemoko Turay for some snaps, especially, later on in the season as Drake Jackson gets more comfortable, gets better with his hands. I think Darryl Tapp's going to have to pay a lot of attention to Drake Jackson to help develop him. But think about the chances of getting Kemoko Turay on the outside with Samson Ebukam on the inside in the Arden Key role. Now you have Armstead and Bosa on the other side. They're going to have to slide protection that way. If not, you got a one-on-one matchup between either Armstead and a guard or Bosa and an edge rusher. Even if they chip, that's a mismatch for them. And all the while on the other side, Kemoko Turay is going to be able to get up the field with that quick first step and create separation and space for Samson Ebukam to be able to go against a guard. That is a bad situation for every single team in this league, and I love the chances that they're going to have to put this group together. So Ebukam with a combination of guys is going to be fantastic. Get ready for Samson Ebukam to absolutely explode onto the scene.
I would agree with you. I think Samson Ebukam is the most logical name of this group, and I think he could be the one that maybe takes this role and takes it to another. We won't be calling it the key role, but we call it the Ebukam, the Ebu-bomb role. The Ebu-bomb role come next season. Very well could be the case. I think ideally they wanted this to be the case for Samson Ebukam this past year, but with D Ford going down and them not having the replacement, they needed to keep him out on the edge, and they found another guy to fill that interior role. It ends up being Arden Key, and this year, and it very well could be Samson Ebukam's time to shine.
Yeah, it could, and Charles Omenihu is another guy that's going to probably fill this role from time to time.
Absolutely.
He's a guy that's got tremendous position versatility, and what a move that was by John Lynch to go get him. I think he's a great addition to this team. The scary part is you got a guy like Jordan Willis, who was a natural part of the rotation last year, part of that second unit, that could be on the outside looking in and maybe not even able to make this roster with just how stacked they are at the defensive line.
Crazy.
This is a rotation that just never quits. You feel like, we've got to the next line. They just keep coming at you.
Question.
Yeah.
If that were to pass, the Niners weren't going to be able to keep Jordan Willis. Do they pick up the phone, call Robert Saleh and the Jets and try and deal him back over there, seeing as Robert Saleh was instrumental in getting him to San Francisco?
Yeah, I think so. I think you're calling anyone, you know what I mean? I think there would be teams that would be interested. And the arms race that's going on in the AFC West teams,
Sure.
I think one of them would love to have him. Of course, you don't want to trade him within division, or Seattle would love to have him. They got some young pass rushers that they're getting there. But there's going to be a market for one of these edge rushers. I think the 49ers will do everything they can to hold on to every possible player they can. But at some point, they might have to pick up the phone and go ahead and trade one of these players away. And I think it really stinks because we don't actually need extra draft capital. We don't need another 6th or 7th round pick.
What? Do we have like 13 picks?
Yeah, we have a ton of picks next year. And it's better just to have, one of these players on your team. But we'll see. We'll see if there's an injury or something where they're able to stash a player. We know Kalia Davis is probably going to get stashed as an interior guy. But yeah, this is going to be fantastic. I'm going to love early downs, watching these big guys stuff the run. And then on the late downs, you're either going to have, a base look, or you're going to have an absolute NASCAR package. And this 49ers team is going to be able to get after it. And that's going to help Bosa. And if they go to a double or triple team of Bosa, look out for everyone else. You could be seeing career years from Armstead and Ebukam, Kemoko Turay, Charles Omenihu. All of them could have career years because the attention they're going to have to pay to Bosa.
Agreed. And it's going to be a lot of fun. This D-line group is in for quite a year. I mean, everyone thought they were a talented group last year. They're even deeper this year, which is scary to think. And I love that. I love that for us. And I hate that for other teams. I love it for us. And I'm looking forward to that being a nightmare for 17 whole weeks this season of actual football games for the 49ers and just decimating quarterbacks. So Seattle, have fun with that. Drew Lock and Geno Smith. Going to be looking forward to watching those games, and some reparations are coming due for the Seattle Seahawks in terms of punishment for having taken it to us the past couple of years. I don't like it. I've actually disliked it the past 4 years or so, and maybe we get some payback this year. I'd love that.
Yeah, I'd love some payback. I'd love some stunts. I think we're going to get more line stunts than we've ever got with the versatility of these players. Look out, Drew Lock, because you're about to have a San Francisco helmet against your chest all game long.
That's true. Against your chest, hopefully not breaking any ribs and not getting flagged.
Just don't get flagged.
Officials, please. And Roger Goodell, there is also still time to increase the 53-man roster like 56.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I don't think we're going to get that. I would love that, because then we could just keep all the linemen.
We keep all the linemen in, and then we have nothing to worry about at all whatsoever. But Cutback Crew, let us know what you think of the names we just brought up. Is Samson Ebukam actually the leader in the clubhouse, or is it someone else? And we're just blinded. We're blinded by the Samson Ebukam love. In fact, they should be cutting him out. They shouldn't be promoting him and giving him an important role in the 49ers defense. We want to hear from you. Comment down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already.
Yeah, not only is Samson Ebukam not going anywhere, he's going to have himself one heck of a season. I'm looking forward to Ebukam's explosiveness. I think he's really going to develop. He's understanding now what it means to have his hand in the ground and just get after the quarterback. It was a transition for him, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to this Arden Key role and who fills this key role for the 49ers. I think you're right. I think we're going to go with an expansion, and it's going to be fun to watch. Kocurek and Daryl Tapp are going to let these guys loose. D'Amico Ryan's going to use them in a creative manner. And hopefully you're very creative and give us a subscription so we can get closer to 3,000.
We would appreciate it. We really, really would. Kris Kocurek doing his thing. Daryl Tapp doing his thing. D'Amico Ryan's in a shocking turn of events and doing his thing and not appreciating questions about what he's trying to do with his D-line. He wants everyone to just wait and see, and I'm all for the waiting and can't wait to see it, D'Amico. Cutback Crew, we're excited about this. We hope you are too. Tons more content still coming your way. But until the next one, stay safe.
Remember, the right way
is always the 49ers way.